With that sagittal flexion assessment, you're looking for deviation.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like if they do this, like,
Okay.
right,
Gotcha.
or you know, it's like, oh, can you do that without rotating your head? No, okay.
Or if they like just picked up their.
Yeah. Versus where neutral would be which would just be boom, like straight up, straight. And then okay, cool, that's fine. And that's the just straight sagittal assessment, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
There's a couple ones where it's just like there's not like bilateral stuff. It's just like a one like capital like flexion and then.
So that one is probably. I think that's probably. I'd have to look, but it might be rotated. Or could you read it off?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so inversion, eversion, there's that kind of force coupling, but then driving through my third and fourth tips of the phalanges.
Okay.
There, and then this is kind of my pad of the thumb. Like that.
Yeah.
So it's like radial deviation and ulnar deviation is the test.
Okay.
And then dorsiflexion at the metatarsal heads.
Yeah.
Plantar flexion, I kind of do this at the calcaneus or up top here, but I mean, that's all I'm doing.
You're not pushing right between
You're capped out, right? You're already there. Like I can feel your closing angle is pretty much closed.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where she's resting.
Yep.
Like cervically fully flexed, number 56.
Cervical fully flexed, full capital flexion. Cervical fully flexed.
Fully
Full
flex.
cervical flexion.
So you flex first and then capitally flex?
Mm-hmm.
Can't do
Cervical fully flexed for cervical
boom,
rotation.
boom.
Fully rotated. Full cervical lateral flexion. Yeah, those must be. Yeah, so those would be
Still much talking.
-2.
Yeah.
Got
It's
a little,
alright.
I got a
It's
little.
the normal. I don't eat till noon.
I got a little upset. I might have to bail out here a little bit.
Intermediate faster.
I might need a bathroom break here. dude.
Really? Oh, the
That's-
coffee,
Or
yeah.
maybe it'll inspire me.
And Mexican food, man, last night. But I couldn't.
Nice.
Yeah, we had some really good steak last night.
Oof. Yeah, so that
Okay.
I think those can be
What-
taken two ways, but I think that it's what happens when they go here and then there, and what happens when they go here and then there.
I feel like that's harder for me.
So it's more like, do we see like
Sucks.
comp pattern?
Do they deviate? Yeah.
And the same thing with like the back extent, like the first thing we do
cervical
in the
first,
and the
and then capital.
back
That gets me. I
extension,
feel
chest
that.
up.
It's that exact same
Like, do
thing.
they do something weird?
100%.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, metatarsal head. We'll go forefoot. So locking the calcaneus, gently pushing from the medial aspect of the metatarsal head, or pushing from the lateral aspect of the fifth.
Okay, and we're just looking at
How does it move?
adduction or abduction.
The key is that
forefoot.
force coupling, right? So like, what I felt you were doing with Brennan was this.
Yeah.
Where his whole leg was moving. So you really got to have a strong force coupling here
Yeah.
to check that. And those are moving, right? That's not.
What's it? It's supposed to have a little movement?
Yeah, dude, check this out. This is good for you guys to feel. So do this. You can, and just, I mean, look at, I'm just, boop. Yeah, boop. Yeah, do a few more. There you go. See how that moves?
Mm-hmm.
Want to do that too? We'll give it a
So,
boop.
do you mind if I just almost just feel
Yeah.
it? So you're like grabbing it under here and
Third
And then
fourth.
let me check this. Oh yeah. So I'm here, kind of ratcheting.
Almost feels like you're kind of
Like,
moving
kinda
me
just
out
like
a
this,
little
huh?
bit.
I'm everting you.
Yeah. You're like, good, that's what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot going that way.
Yeah, feels like you are a little stuck.
But
Oh, yeah.
and then check this out though. This is okay. So that's squishy. I just want you to
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
comparative squishies. Comparative squishies, and then
Okay.
yeah, feel that one.
So kind of similar pressure to what he's doing. That second one. So there's
except
Jazz.
on my heel, like Jazz has got my heel. Like I can't do anything with my heel.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah,
almost
that's
feel
not
like my
moving.
knee is locked. My whole leg is. Yeah, that feels a little bit more.
Is that better?
Okay, yeah, I just wasn't in the right angle.
Yeah.
So you're holding it straight almost.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
I feel it. Yeah.
that thing is moving.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I'll try this one.
Yeah. Let me get out of the way.
Yeah, your thumb is like wrapped around.
So what's that saying? I mean, it has more external on that side.
On this side, yeah, and then the concern is the forefoot abduction the ability to kind of spread and
ground.
collapse into the ground.
Okay.
So she's which I mean that makes sense, right?
That has been a problem.
Well, yeah, I mean definitely. So we've seen a lot of.
that.
What's that?
I don't know if I feel it on this side.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Like this seems.
better, but I don't know that you're and that's I was having a lot of trouble with this too. It's like isolating the calcaneus.
I feel like you're pushing a little bit harder too, as well. Like you're almost forcing. Like you look like there's more pressure. There's a lot more movement in her foot when because Jazz looks like he's just barely touching.
I have to. Ooh, you okay?
Yep.
I have to really, because I can do this, but look at that.
Yeah, you got a leg wiggle.
Mind if I
So
sit on
he's
the
like
chair?
taking
Yeah.
Let me see if
this.
this.
He's like taking his hand here, and he's like.
It's
Everting
ratcheting.
my like.
You like? Do you want
No,
me to?
other way.
You
You
want
want
me
to feel it?
You want me to?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, just pocket shoe up. I'll just do it on the floor.
That's better. Like my calcaneus feels. I was having a really hard
It's starting to
time
look like me,
figuring
Jazz.
that out.
What?
Sorry, that was a bad joke.
On the
You're starting to
floor.
look like me. So give me your foot and hop on the floor.
Oh God.
What the hell, you guys?
Sorry, it's friend group inside.
So-
Friendly
that.
inside. Wow, you guys have some like
There's no boundaries
foot
in
stuff.
here. That's been the standing joke with Mike. Well, it's not really a
Hop
joke.
on the floor
It's
and
not
give me your
really-
foot.
It's just a reality.
It's just
He's
reality.
a foot guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
bad.
Oh, that feeling right there. Oh, the crossover is just
That's so
fantastic
funny.
at this point. Goodbye professionalism.
I just,
Yeah, like you had it. Like your foot.
There's a time and
there,
place,
and
There's
then
no
it's
clients
like
around. We're okay.
It's a little everted.
But there might be some
Other way.
on there.
Yeah, and then he's doing it.
Uh-oh.
Is he feeling like he's getting that lock?
Yeah, the lock on the
Yeah.
heel.
It's pretty gnarly. I mean, it almost feels like you're gonna hurt the person,
It does almost feel that way.
but it
Like,
doesn't
is that
hurt.
how,
Right?
that's how hard you're
It
holding?
doesn't. It's
You want
just,
to feel it?
Yeah.
I kind of want to try it too. Now, see, yeah, that side feels solid.
Okay, I see what you're talking
Okay, yeah, you really got it. So in that, I feel that little bit
Yeah,
of
it
the
feels
version that you're
great.
talking about.
Yep.
How's that feel?
Oh,
stiff.
yeah. The
Yeah,
comparative is the key.
Oh shit.
Yeah, not right. So that feels way more mobile.
Okay.
Yeah, not even.
Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah. So this is your bad one. Those actually feel pretty. I mean, from I guess from a comparative standpoint, those are technically
And it
moving,
might be
even
because I'm
though.
always this side hurts. I'm always wrenching and stretching this side more.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or you could be
just more.
overusing your right leg, because-
and that might be why I'm having
maybe because you have a mechanical issue on the left foot,
possible. Oh yeah, that makes sense too.
right? Like
Because that's my whole right side, like up here too. Remember I was talking about that a little bit
that
too.
could, dude, that could be a center of mass thing. Like it could be an overuse on that side because of. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why my right ankle has fallen to shit, is because I was overusing it for so long when I had my left ankle injury, and it just kind of promoted it or perpetuated it.
Huh.
What you thinking?
Do you want to test both sides and see if you find anything, and then have Janice check it himself?
Cool.
I want to just make sure that, like, I
What
feel
you're
like
doing is like that. That felt kind of what I think Jazz.
Yeah,
is
and make sure you're on the calcaneus
Okay.
fully. Yeah, good.
fully on the calcaneus,
Yeah,
and then Are you like moving it anyway?
Everting it.
Just
Like
a little-
hammering it into eversion. Right
Everting.
there. There you go.
Yep, that looks good.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, and so
There, that's
now
beautiful.
what fucks me up is when I go to switch my hand.
You don't have to push very hard.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm like just tapping,
That's it. Yep.
and that feels good.
Yep.
But then I go over here, and now
That's
I'm
fine.
like I'm gonna test adduction.
Still hammering into eversion.
And now I'm.
It's that same. So it's the same thing that Greg talks about with the calcaneal lock.
Okay, I don't. So this
Because
is
it's like when you're loaded down,
Yeah.
that's how it is.
It's
anyways,
kind of
yeah.
locked in. Yeah, unless it's
I kind of want to look at the freaking foot.
I'm
I mean,
curious
I
to
have
like how I
that.
stand now.
So it's
I'm
still
Right.
an eversion. Calcaneal lock is
Yeah.
like an everted
Yeah, 'cause-
calcaneal lock.
because if you think about so if you think about the calcaneus and you think about
I'm gonna look at it.
if you think about like terminal locked position in the calcaneus,
Ooh.
inversion never really has a firm bony end feel. It's always like an end range squishy ligamentous sensation there, right? Whereas when you evert that thing, that's ramming in to the lateral malleolus and really firming that thing up so you can get it stuck so that you can pivot off of it with the forefoot.
So inversion. Inversion is like a supination type of thing, right?
Loading into inversion is
So you're.
It's basically like
gosh.
I just want to see because this guy is so funny.
Oh, he's got some movement.
Yes,
Mr. Bones.
love him. When you're talking about the lateral, okay, this makes a little bit more sense now. Okay, so you're locking this calcaneus, Jazz, so that
And then-
it's the calcaneus. You're talking about it locking out on the malleolus of the tibia, or
No, fibula.
okay,
Right, because
So-
eversion.
yeah.
Yep.
So
Damn it.
would
that's
this be
right,
something
it's
where, like,
locking me
so if you
constantly
check
on-
inversion, eversion, right, first, and you notice that it's stickier on one side than the other, would that say we can't really do this test because it could be the fluorescence?
It could be for sure. Yeah, like if you had an eversion issue,
Mm-hmm.
that eversion could be creating a mobility issue in the forefoot potentially. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. The other, but I've seen it both ways. Like I mean, you can still lock somebody out in eversion even if they don't
And
have
do the
much
test.
eversion. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And I've seen weird stuff. Like I've seen, you move somebody into eversion, and weirdly enough, forefoot abduction is great, and you're like, okay, forefoot abduction is not good. Okay, now I'm seeing that there might be this, kind of corresponding eversion, abduction, inversion-y thing happening, which, is moving through the cycle of supination.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
So did you find something, Julie, with that pokey thing
I didn't really.
on both
I
sides?
think we got a little
I feel like,
sidetracked.
yeah,
Yeah, a little
I
bit.
just feel like I really needed to kind of understand the anatomy a little bit more, kind of dive in and now zoom out. I
I'm
felt-
back watching those videos of the guy that there's the guy, they're in the log.
I'll go get my
So Jazz, I was doing an assessment, and the person had a problem with knee flexion,
Okay.
and so in the left side. So would that be something where, like, okay, then if we go to do like knee flexion with like tibial RER, that would be something where we could.
It would be, yeah, that would be an excellent way to go about it, because then you could tease out whether it was, like, okay, so in that situation, person's got a knee flexion issue, and maybe you choose just to take it that far during the assessment, right?
That's kind of what I did. I was like, well,
Yeah.
if I see something different between with the ER between legs, it could be because of the knee flexion.
Yeah.
It could be because we're internally rotating.
Right. Yeah. It could be that, or it could be yeah. So you're saying it could be the tibial internal rotation, or it could be the knee flexion. You're saying it could have been the knee flexion issue.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
that was a problem.
For sure. So you saw when you did the pre-ROM that there was a tib IR issue also. ER.
No.
Oh, you didn't see any tib ER IR.
No.
Okay. So
Because you'll see
It
that
was
during the first.
pre-ROMs, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll do it
So I mean, and that's that's kind of the nice thing about having pre-ROM is that's those are indicators, right? So if I'm like, all right, this dude definitely has a tib IR issue, and then I see knee flexion pop up in the regular range of motion assessment, I might look at IR with knee flexion and see if that really jacks everything up. Like knee flexion kind of sucks, and then you tib IR them, and you're like, oh my gosh, this thing is like hitting a wall, or they don't know how to move it at all. And then you put them into tib ER, and they're like, oh my god, that feels so good, right? And then you're like, oh, okay.
So then that could
It
just
might be a tib
tib
IR issue, right?
thing.
Yeah.
So they're two like almost pigeon foot then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah. So that those are various ways you can look at it. So you can kind of go down that flowchart rabbit hole of is it
fucking infinite ways? to just
infinite
go
ways.
about
It's
it, dude.
insane, man. It's totally insane. And the other thing is it could be a hip ER/IR issue.
Yeah.
It could be a dorsiflexion issue. It could be a hip flexion issue. So I mean that's the other thing to think about is like with knee flexion, unless you see knee flexion prone cleared, it could be a hip flexion issue, not a knee flexion issue.
Right.
Or a
Get a haircut?
pelvic
Oh, that's right.
Friday.
So it could be all that in there.
or a pelvic anchoring issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't though.
I was like,
Mm.
it's cleaner.
Hey, you just got done after when you called me and Sam, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so here I am on this left foot, left extremity. I'm on a calcaneus. It is everted, and I'm testing adduction.
Yeah, I found one.
Let's
In
just
there.
take a look at them all and see what we see.
And
I'm watching what I see.
And then I'm everting
Mm-hmm.
way squishier into abduction.
On
The left.
Okay.
Way squishy.
That looks good. Yeah.
Way squishy.
Ooh, excuse me. That looks locked up.
Yeah. But it's hard because it's like,
That's very minimal, so it's like you just gotta. That one looks like the AD on the right looks. Do that one. Yeah. Oh no, they both look pretty similar.
yeah.
Did you
And then
feel
That's what it feels like.
Felt pretty similar
Yeah.
too.
yeah, I
Both
felt.
AD on right and left look pretty similar.
Can you watch
but
me do
then-
this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so here is everted. Versus
Right. That looks good.
feels
Okay.
squishier.
I like this lo-fi shit.
Uh-huh.
I should turn this on.
Let's see,
and
that
clean
seemed
it.
really squishy. But
That
does
looks
not.
completely.
Okay.
I feel like I have the placement better. I get an idea of what I'm doing with the calcaneus.
Yeah.
See, you're not taking them out of plantar flexion though either. You're letting them be
Where he is.
where he is.
Yeah.
Definitely that right one looks a little
Yeah.
less. See, now that like it's kind of, I've seen a little bit more on the left that time than I did on the right.
I don't feel like that is as squishy as that.
It's maybe a little bit less, smidge.
But his adduction maybe on both sides are a
It's
little.
not great. And this, at this point, I don't know. It's pretty minimal.
Seems like it's getting a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I initially felt was this was the most limited,
Yeah.
and it does not feel like that at all anymore.
Okay.
So whatever stem we're giving this thing,
It's liking that.
it's liking it.
But that side's definitely.
This feels a little worse to me now. This way. Comparative now. I mean, like I said, but when I first looked at
Basically, like
this,
that little bit of stem, because when I
Dude.
first seen her do it too, it looked pretty
Yeah.
tight.
yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, the point. I think the takeaways here are, if you see his knee moving, you're pushing too hard.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not locking the calcaneus, you're not able to assess forefoot.
Yeah.
And if you feel any movement, it's probably good. And if you feel no movement, that's what you're looking for.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
because this thing is basically a very minimal joint movement. I mean, the foot's just doing this.
Yeah.
So we're not looking for gross movement, but
Okay.
yeah.
Can I ask a quick question about
Yeah.
just the second SARS? Can you stay on the table? So in my assessment this week, I have a client with a partial hip replacement, like a year plus out, and she bikes all the time, walks a lot, blah blah blah. So her second SARS internal boom was like freaking junk. So
Abduction. Abduction. Right?
yeah, and I was just showing her, and I haven't done the I haven't done range of motion. It was just from posture. We were kind of like pre-ROM SARS, and her adduction was really good. So I'm just trying to like think through this process of how like, okay, so I know that 90-90, like from her PT report, like was limited. I haven't like looked at that because we haven't gotten to the range of motion, but so it could be like internal rotation, or also just like the flexion component. So we're gonna do her range of motion assessment, and I think her allostatic load is pretty low. I mean high. She has a low allostatic score, meaning she's got a lot of stress.
A lot of
She has
A
low
lot.
tolerance.
Low
Yeah,
tolerance.
She has a
right?
low tolerance. But anyways, I'm just thinking about her hip, and you know, like her hip is a big significant part of what's going on in her body. So from like a treatment standpoint, and we're not really there yet at all. I mean, probably a couple appointments away from that. This is shit, right? We're not getting past this. Sorry, Eli.
You're good.
But like, so it's a hip flexion IR combo, and yeah. So would I just be going into like hip flexion, seated, 90-90, or I mean just QMA and seeing?
So I'm trying to follow the question here. Is the question what to do about it?
Yeah, that's like kind of where I'm going.
You haven't done a range of motion assessment.
No.
So you have no idea what to do with it or without it.
Yeah, I just know that test is bad.
That's fine. That's all the data we have. We don't have to do it. We don't have to act on it at all right now.
Yeah, like I'm jumping the gun.
Big time. Yeah. Because I mean, if you see that there's a pelvic approximation issue, she might have an
So
ankle.
that almost goes back right into what we were just talking about a second ago, where we're now we'll test.
Yeah.
We'll test it.
Right. And quite frankly, I would probably be hesitant to even start at that hip, especially because that's her junk zone.
Yeah,
But what you said her A load was what?
it's
A
pretty
3?
low.
2?
I'm thinking it's gonna be a 3 or a 2.
So you're gonna get you're gonna get. Let me see. Yeah, I mean you're gonna get good data. I mean this is good. Let's see, we got seated hip flexion. You got the trunk rotation. That's gonna give you some insight on PVA.
Okay, so we're not PVAing because it's a little bit more advanced.
Wait, was that? Yeah. Well, I mean, if she hits a 4,
She's not gonna
hit a 4. Okay.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
She's on like major.
Did she go high quality on the left leg with IR, hip flexion, abduction? So you're gonna get GH extension, which is gonna give you some insight on anchoring systems in the trunk and spine. If she clears one of those, you're gonna get hip extension. If she clears one of those, you're gonna get PVA.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is going to give you a lot of good insight on, you know, how her body's anchoring and controlling itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, preemptively thinking about what to do with that
Something
right
you don't
leg, it's just, yeah, I mean, it's so up in the air right now.
Okay.
I mean, does she have a knee extension issue? We don't know.
We don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
That was the other part that I was thinking about. Was like the knee.
Right.
All the things that are happening with that leg and that
This
configuration.
is the nice thing about
IR.
consolidating and collecting all the data and not having, like, I almost,
We don't even think about this.
I don't even think about it. It's like it's a waste.
You don't have to think
it's-
ahead once you compile all the
But
data.
sometimes
it's a-
I know you are like, because you're rolling, and I mean,
But it's because I'm piggybacking from data, right? Like I'm going, like, I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, okay, so let me ask a question. Something that I might start piggybacking off of is like, you did circumferences.
Yep.
Did she have some asymmetries on that right leg?
Yeah,
Some-
that's not all fresh in my head right now, but
Okay.
there were.
So if she's got some girth issues on that right quadricep, right upper thigh, that could be an actual strength profile issue. So like there might be innervation issues happening there, but that also might be something where, you know, sooner than later, this has to become a phase 2 strength and endurance assessment
What's
to start.
weird about it too is I think that her right was almost bigger than her left.
Okay, so that's
No.
a great key indicator that this might be an anchoring issue then. This might be something in her pelvis or in her spine. If that thing looks meaty and girthy and she's got a ton of tissue activation there and it's hurting her when she's on her back and doing that thing where it's squishy, that could totally be an anchoring issue, right? So that's kind of, now that you've said that, those data points are making me go, what's that PVA doing?
Yeah.
Like, what's that hip hike doing? What's that lateral flexion of the
Yeah.
spine doing? Now I'm kind of doing the thing that you're saying that I do, which is, okay, let me see if I can build an argument around anchoring system issues or disprove it. Either way, I don't care. But
there's so many things too where you're like biased and you're like, oh, well, the left is lower or the right is smaller, or the left is stronger.
Yeah.
It's because she's doing this, and like it's a strength profile
Yeah.
thing where, you know, you kind of start to. Not that I'm starting to do that, but it's like
you want to for sure. I think what I'm encouraging you to do is not think about a treatment option of like, oh God, how am I going to address this hip right now?
Yeah.
But build arguments around systemic breakdown or local breakdown.
Yeah.
And worry about the treatment thing when you have a whodunit.
Yeah.
Right. Because like thinking about like, oh shit, how am I going to take her into 90-90? What's going to happen if I test her and it keeps hurting? What's going to happen if this thing doesn't get high quality? Like those are things that are out of our control at this point. But the things that are in our control are building an argument around mechanical breakdown and then having good solid rationale to move forward with the treatment. You know, that makes
Thank
sense,
you.
right?
Or like,
Yeah.
what should I also like look at in the
Yeah, right.
thing?
What-
Like,
yeah.
okay, if you send that, it's problem, so let me dig into that a little deeper.
Yeah, where are the red flags? I mean, it could be straightforward. It could be a hip flexion issue. Right? The problem is like,
Well, and she doesn't like, she does this and she goes here and she's like, I mean, there's little.
yeah, but that could be
Cues.
that her pelvis is ramming into her acetabular or her femoral acetabular junction, right? That could be that her pelvis is dropped forward and then she's like, fuck, I'm trying to get my bone up and her bone is ramming into another bone.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, then you could build an argument like, what's the end feel right there? Is it bony end feel? Is it tissue end
Yeah.
feel? If it's tissue and feel, that might just be a mechanical thing. But if you feel like you're ramming, that tilted back like that, not that way, the other way.
No, yeah. She's like,
yeah, so you
could be like something like that. Okay.
Yep.
So you gotta look for that.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, you know, and that's the beauty of this process is like kind of allowing yourself, to think about it like this, but then go, okay, let me pull back and go, okay, let me see what the data says, let me read the tea leaves, and then you get to formulate an educated decision, not a reactionary decision on what we're hoping to accomplish.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank
Is
you.
that helpful?
Yeah, it is, and it's not. No, it is. It's just my brain, and it's like swirling about all the things.
It's going to be a paradigm shift in the way that that it is. This whole process is a paradigm shift, right? It's in the way you're looking at the body and interacting with the body, because we're looking at building systemic arguments around neuromotor breakdown, neuromuscular breakdown, right? Versus, it's a hip issue. It might not be. I mean, this is the big sever with MAT versus MSS. Is like MAT is like range of motion issue, poke on it, and MSS is like, her pelvis isn't anchoring, so her hip can't flex. You know, or
in a situation where everything is pointing to the hip surgery, limited range of motion compared to all of the things.
I'm not saying it's not that, by the way. But I would rule out pelvic can't anchor before I start yarding on her hip.
Well, and like what has to be stable for this thing to move.
Exactly. And so, that a lot of times, I mean, now this is me living in a bias, like a historical bias. I anchor a pelvis, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, the hip moves and it's out of pain. I'm like, okay, fair enough. World, I see it.
World fixed.
Yeah. So,
Are we gonna look at your
Yeah, let's do it. We got an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more. I'm gonna check in with my wife and see if I have to go get her to come work out. She might be like, nope, not doing that.
I do have some stuff around 10 that gotta go check out too.
Well,
anyway,
that's
so.
cool.
I can stick around.
Yeah. Yeah, if we have more time,
Stick
let's
around for a
do
little bit,
it. Yeah. This is good though, man.
The feet were getting cold.
My computer here, if you guys want to look at it here.
let's
or-
do it. Let's
I just forgot mine at home.
No
I
problem.
have
I
mine
was gonna
too.
go to Verizon too today and talk to them about see what kind of deal I can get on
Yeah.
these through them.
There we go. Kind of like put it on the
Let's
plane.
put it on the plane for now. I was gonna do that tomorrow, actually, not today.
Do they have? Check and see if they have surfaces.
Would that be better? I think.
I guess. I mean, I think
Whichever
this,
better,
I think the
shit.
Samsung wouldn't be a good option. I know they sell the Samsungs, but I don't think that would be a good avenue to take.
Yeah.
I would look at the iPads or the Samsung or the Microsofts.
Okay.
What did you get?
So
what is
Microsoft
this that you got
Surface.
It's a
here?
brown sugar latte.
Okay.
It's really good.
So.
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to switch to, or?
I have a Microsoft and an iPad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your iPad
But the thing with the syncability with my
Online.
phone and the iPad though is what really.
That's the
And my
appealing thing
computer,
for
and my
everybody.
computer.
I like
and
mine,
my-
but I haven't. I guess we haven't really.
So I have Mac.
Have you
I
played
have
any
Apple
files yet?
everything else.
No.
Okay.
That's why I'm like.
Yeah, I want to hear how you feel. So this is the one thing about the Surface versus the iPad. So like when I'm planning a file,
I mean, I just use my phone, so I have done some stuff like
Yeah.
that. And like,
it's
that
just
works
it's
for me.
clunky to me for like having to like pull up both files. It's not that clunky though.
Yeah.
But like when I'm planning a file, oh gosh, let's see here. File that's planned. Let's see, maybe CJ. I don't know. Yeah. Oh no, we're just doing training right now. Chris. Yeah, so like the difference is this, like, so like with the Microsoft Surface, you can play the audio and write at the same time. So like what I'm doing when I'm planning the file is we'll do a full seated respiratory assessment. we're gonna continue up with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely less.
It's a little more clunky with the other one. So like I move this up top here. What I'd like to do. Oh, this thing is just make beat today. But like when I'm writing out the game plan for the day with the Surface, you can play the audio and write at the same time. Whereas with the iPad, it blocks it out so you can't do anything except for listen to the audio.
That's stupid.
Yeah, so it's a stupid thing that Microsoft did because they want to have features that incentivize people to buy Microsofts.
Wow.
That's literally what it is, which is total
Can you
bullshit.
play the audio note on your phone?
Yes.
And then
It's just, you absolutely can. It's just clunky, right? 'Cause
Right. Now you got two things, and
But I can show you some cheat codes on that too. Like, there's a way to quickly access the next file or the file you open. So, like, say on your iPad you open up Karen's folder. Well, on your phone, if you go to this button down here, which is more notebooks, the first folder at the very top is going to be Karen's. So you don't have to fish through all of your folders. You can just click on that more notebooks button. It's always going to be the first one, the last one that you just opened up.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So that's a way you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the biggest trade-off, I would say, comparatively. Now, the thing I like about the iPads is that you can like copy and paste text and pictures and videos straight from your phone to your iPad seamlessly without any, like, you don't have to, like, there's no break points in between. It's just copy and then you can paste it somewhere else. So you can do a video on your phone and then paste it into your OneNote file.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no like sending through email or anything like that.
Okay.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It really is crazy. What are we? Yeah, what is it?
Eli SS is jazz.
Oh, there it is. Perfect.
No, what are we doing?
Finishing this and getting to his.
So we're.
Just looking at the
Digression.
Let's see. Did we finish the report of findings? Is I guess the first question.
I need my brain.
Will definitely be a nap in my future today.
Okay, so we did. Yeah, so this would be I think, like, from an action item standpoint, this would be if we want to start going down this road with my system here to start practicing it. The next thing to do would be to fill out, produce a full report of findings on my file here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
I guess not. Yeah. Because we got all the data set. Yeah, I think that would be a great process right now to like complete this whole thing. We have, okay, so we built out a rationale, we just haven't dropped it in. That would be a great thing. Not today. I mean, let's just practice on some stuff. But I think what we should do today is just pick wherever you guys want to start. We can pick. I mean, there's hot spots everywhere, right? So we can pick a right hip. We can pick a right foot. We can pick a left shoulder. We can pick a right neck. If you guys want to do that, that's fine. Yep. And so what you want to do is you're going to start sampling out. And I mean, we have 3 things here. If you decide, I can't remember if we do a full
foot thing.
Did we do the full foot screen?
I don't think
We didn't.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to practice that right now,
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do the foot screen and then let's transition into a treatment there.
Okay, cool. Mike, you want to call some of that stuff out? We'll see what.
Okay. Mikey's starting at
So
that
at
black.
8? At 8.
Yep.
Yeah, that is ankle plantar flex, forefoot everted, and then subtalar adduction.
So ankle. Can you read it one more time?
So ankle plantar flex.
Okay.
This is the ones we were just doing here.
That's kind of
So
cool.
forefoot everted, and then the subtalar adduction.
Oh yeah.
So if he's
And then
not
the next
in,
one's abduction. Yeah, this is exactly what we were just doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
so if he's not fully plantar flexed, or you just assume you are, I feel like you're.
I just kind of let it sit where it is. Like, I'm not.
So if it's
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
okay.
How's this feeling, Jazz?
That's fine. You can even pinch harder and like grasp harder.
Like really rad.
Yeah, I would like more clasp and less ratchet. Like clasp, like pinch that heel,
Like that.
and then twist it. There you go. Yeah. Do you feel that difference?
Yeah.
It feels different to me. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So really good clasp and then.
Yep. Those feel fine to me.
Yeah, me too. Clasp.
Oh. Do you feel that? You slipped my leg
Yeah,
there, right?
You're right.
So there was an expectation about how far that calcaneus was supposed to go.
Yeah, you're kind of.
Your foot is already
So
super.
you gotta
so
track.
it's
You gotta
inverted.
Yeah.
gotta track where that goes, right? So that's not.
Yeah.
So
You're.
Right.
So really, that we just learned that you're not moving here.
right, and so what you can do is in this situation, it's gonna need to be more this way,
Toward me or towards you?
that way, right there. You feel how you're locking me into
Yeah.
eversion there?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Instead of rotating your whole leg.
That thing is
So I can-
frozen.
So I can still test you here.
Yeah,
I just have to.
for sure. But that is not moving.
Mhm.
That feels like it's moving.
Yeah.
So let's see. So we said. So
you're
adduction,
Adduction. Yep.
adduction.
Yep.
Um,
And then also,
So on this one, what would you do for this then? What would you write there?
So right. What would you call that? 2, 3, 1?
yeah, one. Yeah, or what? Passive. So,
Oh right. Okay.
yeah.
So passive.
And then just
Right, one,
limited.
it already says one there.
Oh.
Like you guys already did this one, you didn't do the next one. But it says
Okay.
1 for right, 2 for left. And you have it on
Okay.
pass, on emotional quality.
Jeez.
Or no, you had it 4.
They're both frozen, huh?
Yeah.
I think we got A, B, and AD on that right.
And they were both passive. How do I use this?
How to
erase?
break them.
Oh, you just flip it around the back end.
Oh,
That's an
okay.
eraser. Yep.
Nice.
She was feeling that one's pretty frozen too. The abduction
On both.
on the right side, AB and AD.
And so the 1, 2, 3, the ranking, like 1 is bad, 2 is medium, 3
Yeah.
is good,
Is less.
less.
That feels
What do you mean?
way
Like,
more
what do you mean,
moving now that
What do you mean less?
3 is so 3 is like, if we're talking like percentage wise, 33%. 2 is 66%.
Okay, so
1
one
is
is-
100%
one is
or 99%.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So an abduction. An
Yeah, you
abduction.
have to kind of show me how you go. This is like I haven't really taken the notes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how you.
So we
word it
just
so I don't
did-
mess it up.
For this.
You did the-
Yeah.
just
So
an
now
AB.
same here. Right. Like a 2 or 1. And then that's probably it. So that for this one, because we're only doing the left foot seem fine, you can just circle the R. Yeah. And then you can circle the 2 over here. How'd that feel for you, Jazz? And then
Good.
Good.
I mean, yeah,
What'd you say?
you can do P for 4.
yeah, like, are you saying you're testing on that? Is that what you were asking, how to feel?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Do you
it
want
felt
any
great.
notes?
Yeah.
You need any notes for the right or anything or?
Nope.
Nope.
Like no pain or anything.
Nope, all good.
Okay, so
Okay,
we're
so
on
you can
to
can I just cross that or just leave it blank because there's no pain?
And just leave it blank.
so first
And then
phalangeal.
first phalangeal flexion, yep.
Do I hold anything here?
Yeah, that's fine, man. That feels good.
And so are you asking you to try to hold it?
No,
Or
we're
you're
just
just
doing
seeing if it
passive
moves?
range, yeah, and I'm just peeling that thing down.
So this is
like all the way.
Yep,
so then all this is
Yep.
gonna be all these toe ones are basically gonna be passive.
passive, yep.
That
Ooh.
makes sense. So that's
This one feels stiff.
passive.
Did it?
Like this one just seems like it moves pretty
Okay.
easy. This one's like, I don't know.
That's crazy. My
Feels that-
proprioception
Is it this one feels bad?
way worse.
And so, let's
That's-
get where'd Julie go?
She went to the restroom, I believe.
Do that again, dude. Because I can visibly see it's moving better.
Like, right? It's just like,
Yeah.
check it out yourself and see if you.
That's a trip, dude.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I don't have any sensation in that toe, dude.
And which toe?
This
So,
right.
which one do you think is better? You might try sitting down. It might feel more.
This yeah, let's take it.
More.
Yeah, this one definitely feels tighter.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I've had a couple instances where I've gotten treatment like on my neck,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually regained sensation in that big toe on my
Really?
right foot. So that could be part of this. Is like I'm actually just not feeling anything over there, which makes it
Right.
feel loose.
Can you do this again? Just head down. See if that's. Yeah. So we're just looking for that. That still feels pretty sticky. So that's what we're. That's kind of like.
That's it.
I make a note. Sticky, like just
Yeah.
sluggish.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see if Julie notices exactly. Okay, Julie.
What's that?
First phalangeal flexion. Tell us what you find.
Are you gonna add the met head here?
I'm gonna have somebody hop on, and let me just check this really quick. Yeah, whoever.
Okay. So if you are bracing, you're kind of going right.
I kind of do
Hit.
both, right? I'm like, what's the thing doing? That's kind of. I mean, yeah. So I'm kind of going here. I'm not really force coupling. I'm just giving us like a
Little brace.
brace point right below the met head, and then do that. Because if you're on top of the met head, you kind of block it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Versus if you're not, then you can kind of just be
Yeah.
also moving the ankle.
And you're not pinching the toe. You're just like.
I'm just kind of going to the top.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let's try that and see what that feels like.
You go first.
Yeah, and I'm realizing it's mainly with the bracing under that met.
And I'm pushing here where I'm not pushing.
Yeah, you want to be that's perfect. Yeah.
Get this one. First phalange.
Left is definitely freaking limited there, in my opinion.
Left.
Left is limited.
You're
Right,
What do I?
okay.
I'm like, I got this.
We just had this
Right?
whole conversation.
See that?
It's so funny. Yeah, that feels good.
Okay. So you're saying this feels limited.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Our left. You're right.
Perfect.
Okay.
Jazz is right.
So
Jazz is
we're
right.
going first phalangeal flexion. We'll circle right then,
Yep.
and then that would be a 1.
You can
or
just
2.
give them. I mean, the thing is, we're doing passive. What did that feel like to you?
It felt
2-ish or 1-ish?
two-ish.
2-ish.
2 or 1. Like, I mean, it felt definitely like super
But then we're
noticeable.
putting is that pour or?
I don't usually
Yeah.
put quality of
Yeah,
motion
quality for
because you can't.
Right.
Right.
Because it's passive.
Exactly.
It's passive and it's like
Are
there's
we making
no
a note
motion.
on the right that it was sticky or?
Sluggish feeling. Yeah.
Sluggish.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that was definitely noticeable. It could be a 1, 2. That's hard to. I'm still having a hard time differentiating between sometimes the 1 and the 3 is pretty obvious. Like, okay, it's barely there.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
I'm
the
like,
2 and the
yeah,
1,
I'm like, look, yeah, and then
surveying, it's like all half the rest.
Yeah.
how obvious is obvious? That's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at right
Yeah.
now. It's like
Better
this
on here.
was obvious, but I guess I haven't seen what a
It's-
really obvious toe could be. Where this is like not moving at all, and this is
Yeah,
like that's
I
a
know.
1. If I could do this, and then I'm here, I'm like.
like
Like
this.
crushing.
Okay, dude, do my eversion.
Extension now, first.
Okay,
oh,
do
sorry.
that rear foot eversion real quick here. So there's that, and then do this side.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's one of them, but it might not be. Oh no, I guess not really. No, I thought that might be all jammed out. It's not. So we'll find one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
This
got.
might be maybe my hip internal rotation. Try this side. You just rotate internally my hip, or I'll. Yeah, you could do passive internal rotation here. Go for it. The whole hip. Sorry. So kind of force couple on the medial, the malleolus, and then rotate. So there's that.
Jeez.
Is that something
Oh.
you can do for like?
One.
Okay. Yeah. That's.
Yeah. Right.
Like here, you're like. You're
If you're making-
You're like.
If you're making the noise that you just
Yeah.
made,
Yeah.
it's a one.
That,
That's a good way to think about it. If I'm like, oh shit.
I
Yeah.
missed it. What happened? So he turned in. He fell.
Yeah, he was looking for a one, and we were trying to find something in the ankle, but like this is a good indicator of a one, like.
Like you can see how that foot sits
Yeah,
though. Like,
yeah. And so he started turning. He was like, "Oh," I'm like, "That's a good indicator that it's a
you
one."
just have way less motion. You can
Yeah.
feel it.
Yeah. It's like a different. It feels like. I don't mean like. Is this feeling different? It's like this is feeling different.
Yeah,
Yeah,
completely different leg.
Whereas some of the 2s are like. Yeah, this
It's
is feeling
there.
different, but you know.
Right.
And 3 is like, I think there's something here.
Yeah.
I think it
Yeah.
doesn't feel right, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it like multiple times. So
Yeah.
I don't even need to check twice. It was like,
Yeah.
ah.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay, cool.
All right. So then they have first phalangeal extension.
Okay, and then
What do
same
you
kind of
think
deal.
for
We
that?
kind of were like,
Yeah.
Oh, I like how you.
Battery is running low.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
I got a cord in my backpack.
Cool.
I think it's on the right side, Mikey. On the right side zipper. Right behind my water bottle there. There's like a side pocket there.
Oh, right here.
Yep. Nice.
It is in here.
Yay.
Is it this one?
Nope.
Nope.
Yep. Nice.
The big one?
Yep.
Right out.
Nice.
Oh, shit.
Sure.
There's another one.
Oh, look at all those cords.
like this is one where I'm like, what do you think, Julie? Like, I almost wonder if this is a 3. This one's a little stiffer than that one. But it's not obvious. Like, I had to do it a couple times and was like, and I still like, Julie, you want to check this out?
Yeah, I would say it's a 3 because I would say I was like having a really hard time.
Were you feeling like there's a difference, or do you feel like there's a difference? Like, I also feel been like, I don't think this is much of a difference.
I just feel like that foot doesn't want to move a lot.
This-
So yeah, I feel the
It's a weird
resistance, but I also
is.
see that it
I know.
actually is. So yeah, I would give it a 3.
Okay,
Okay.
So where we at?
so right 3.
Because you're only testing for the right now, right?
Oh,
Right.
We tested
Okay.
one.
No, I just wanted to say that.
But you are comparing.
Right.
Right.
We are
Right.
correct. Yeah.
Right.
But you're comparing them, but you're
Yeah.
looking for stuff on the.
Well,
right
no,
page.
we're looking for stuff on both
Okay.
sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever we see, we see.
Okay.
Yep.
This came up into my head the other day is like we're not comparing like when we're in this part of the range of motion, we're not comparing them to each other per se.
We are.
Okay, we're still.
We're 100%.
It's
compared
not
to each
apples
other.
to apples though. It's not the same as the pre-ROM.
So what you're saying though is you found something on the right.
I'm
Yep.
saying compared to
And
left,
it's
this one
33%.
feels stickier.
Yep.
Right.
If they both felt, if they both felt the same
Oh,
kind of way, then we're like, okay, I guess that's just how his toe works.
So with the pre-ROM, we're establishing apples to apples.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So
And in this
Establishing. We're setting the stage for knowing like the glaring differences.
no,
No.
we're establishing. we're establishing reliability of joint positions. Meaning we know that when we, so like for example, if knee extension is the easiest one, right? If we know that knee extension is not, terminal knee extension is not possible on the right leg, then we know that every time that we assess anything straight kneed, that knee extension component could be affecting the other range of motion assessments downstream. Meaning we make note and make a decision that we're not starting apples to apples when we do the regular range of motion, or we decide to set apples to apples with the other knee slightly
That's what,
bent.
yeah, I mean, I just remember him going over that. He just was going over that with us, yeah.
So that's the key thing there.
That makes
is making
sense.
sure that they are apples to apples, or we're making a decision and making a note saying we are not assessing these apples to apples.
Okay.
And those are two decisions you get to make when you're doing assessments.
Okay.
I try and go apples to apples with everything.
Yeah.
So you set it to apples to apples.
Yeah, so I would be like, all right, lift your leg. All right, lift this leg. I would not go straighten your leg and lift it. I would just be like, lift your leg. Like not hammering that
That's
terminal.
how you would test.
Or being like,
flexion.
whoa, that's a massive comp pattern.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Well, right. You would wanna work around their inability to extend the knee
So when you
Meaning-
say you're establishing reliability,
of joint position.
Alright, Mike, what's next?
Abduction. First phalangeal abduction.
Okay.
So you just pull. Yep, that's it. Perfect. That's it.
And what are you looking
That's
for in
perfect.
that one?
It's kind of like whether the whole foot deviates in. Jesus.
Like, so if...
So that's not. Do you feel like
whether the toe goes... So right there, the toe
That-
moves
yep,
first.
Yep. That's all you're looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, like this.
And here now your
That's
whole
not
foot wants,
moving
your
at
whole
all.
foot wants to go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go right.
That's a one.
That's
Yeah.
a one for sure. Yeah.
That's glaring.
Yeah. Because it's like the toe starts to move and then the foot moves.
Yep.
And then here it's like,
Nothing is happening.
yeah, I can move it, but I'd have to like yank the whole thing.
Nothing.
yeah, you're like,
It's dead. Foot's dead.
Cut it off.
Cut it off.
Alright.
and this isn't your injured foot.
It's what?
This is not your injured
It's not.
ankle.
But it's the
like-
one that has a freaking crazy injury, overuse injury, based on the
For me.
MRI. This is the one I got the MRI
Oh
on.
yeah,
It's got a bunch of crazy stuff going on.
Crazy,
overuse
crazy.
from like
I don't know.
being in a boot and
I have no idea.
carrying.
What's next?
It's weird.
We got the second through fifth phalangeal flexion.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So
Kind
you
of just
kind of brace his first phalange.
Yeah, sometimes I just go like put my pad of hand on the top there and just.
see if it goes.
Well, you want to be.
You sound like this.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
No, that doesn't do anything for me.
Let me see what I do. You want to hop on?
So that's to say, I got a feeling it.
Well, he has like these magic hands where he's just like, what?
Yeah, so I'm just kind of seeing what they do. I'll do this sometimes.
I thought it almost looks better to get your thumb across it. I feel like that
Yeah.
almost like feel you get
Yeah.
more.
I just feel like I still get the first one in there, and it's not like you're trying to make the first
I'm-
one not move.
Yeah,
you're
I'm
just
not worried
looking
about
at the
it.
second through the
Yeah,
fifth.
yeah, I'm not going. Cause and think about like this, right? Think about like a foot moving naturally. It's never moving like this, right? I mean, not often. At
No, the
least.
toes are gonna move together. Right?
Yeah. So how are they going? How are they doing their thing? That feels fine. I'm not seeing anything crazy. I'm like maybe this side a 3. Did you feel that too?
I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah,
I was
fair enough.
just paying attention to where you were holding.
Yeah.
So.
Not super interesting though, from a mobility issue standpoint. Yeah, so I think my favorite way to do this now that I'm feeling it is kind of being out here, kind of doing that. So I'm kind of pushing out, yeah, or maybe doing something like this. Just seeing what that does too. I don't mind doing this either.
Well, because that's you're moving them. Like,
Yeah, you're just wanting to see how they're moving. So yeah, I mean, okay, we're good. I can hop back in. I mean, I think the thing to think about with this stuff too is like, think about.
Same.
My brain is fried.
Your brain is. You know, the thing to think about. That's why we're recording all this.
I know.
Right? The thing to think about is like, let me try and make these things move so I can feel what it feels like for them to move. So just think about like what the joint is, how it moves.
And almost like if there's gonna be a problem, they might almost resist.
Yeah,
like,
so
I don't want to do
sure,
that.
exactly.
What I'm feeling is this is feeling stiff. Like that feels loose. This
Yep.
feels stiff.
Because
Yep.
when
Do
it
you feel
comes
that
to
shit
passive,
too?
if they're not gonna want to
Yeah,
move and
it's
they're
gonna be
very poor,
resistant.
they're gonna be like, no, I'm not
Yep,
moving now.
Exactly. It feels very stiff to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it follows with the first.
Right. Do you feel like it's like I'm kind of like
So like I
putting
mean,
more pressure on
the
that.
first one just should move, but secondly, almost secondary to the.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this situation,
this
it's
situation.
gonna go with them.
Right.
Yeah, I would say
yeah.
like it's a 2.
In this situation though, because you're passively
Okay.
trying to move
Yeah.
the second to fifth.
Exactly.
It's
kinda-
noticeable, but it's
Yep.
That makes sense. So what do we got?
2 because it feels noticeable
Right,
like
2.
off the bat, but it's
Yeah,
not
but
like
not
but
that
still
like
going.
holy
Yeah.
shit. Like the abduction is like glaring, right?
yeah.
So yeah,
Right. 2.
right 2. Don't need to write the quality of motion. If there's any notes,
Any
I don't think there's any notes. There was no pain. I'm fine. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could put stiffer.
Yeah.
Kind of felt stiff.
Okay, and then we got extension on the second through fifth.
That weirdly kind of feels okay to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you're gonna
It
feel.
doesn't feel. That's what I was saying. It feels pretty much the same.
Yeah.
This could be like a teensy bit of a 3, but I
What about that 5th?
oh, I haven't tried the 5th. Oh, you mean like it here?
Yeah.
I have to. I'll look at that. Again.
You just have like a. I would say your 5th feels a little bit more
Frozen.
frozen.
Yeah.
Now let me jump in there again.
Yeah, I don't feel as much, but I do feel.
That feels super frozen.
So how
to
would you
me.
mark that on here?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh,
You're
yeah.
testing the second through fifth.
Yeah, we would call it. We would just, you know, you could say.
Classify it as
Yeah, I'd say right 2 maybe, and then in the notes 5th frozen.
on the right.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Right. Oh shit. Missed that.
Yeah, because this feels.
Right. 2, and then
5th frozen.
fifth.
Yeah. Because that feels bad.
Yeah, it's like.
I get so OCD.
I love it. I love it, Mike. I'm the same way, dude. I erase stuff all the time. I'm like, I don't like the way that number looks.
Yeah.
That arrow looks.
Yeah. I'm trying not to do it as much. Be like, okay, that's good enough. I can tell what it is.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this.
So I can't. I just still. It's
Shit,
bad.
fuck, goddamn.
Mm-hmm.
That's my stepmom always say. Shit, fuck, goddamn. First metatarsal head, dorsiflexion.
Yeah, so this would be like kind of a calcaneal lock and then drive up.
So same kind of deal.
Yeah.
Here.
Are you ramming it into?
No, I'm just kind of locking it and letting it go.
Okay, so not chipper.
Yeah,
Does
you
your
can
jaw
just,
lock up too?
you're just trying to make sure that
Mine
it
does, like,
stays.
crazy, right there, same spot. It just goes.
So, yeah.
Hate it.
I do too. But it opens up my ears, I feel like, when I do it. So you're just testing.
So get a little more distal.
What do you?
On here.
No, on the first.
Metatarsal head.
Yeah.
Section.
So what are you looking
Drive.
for that if it
Yeah, if it goes into
Moves up.
extension. Yeah, and think about following the arc of the foot. So it's going to be a little more outside tracky. Yeah. That.
And so you're just looking. I have to feel this one.
You want to feel it too? Yeah.
I want to feel too. I want to
Yeah.
know what you're looking like. What you're.
Scoot it down just a smidge. So I want to get those scoot. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So I'm locked here, looking up.
Atlas. So that looks like way more than you. I mean, just his feet move a lot.
And then that is frozen.
Dang.
So going into plantar flexion is
Yep.
frozen.
Frozen. Frozen.
Why is it
I
frozen?
have to hammer that.
Just to get it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to hot hammer.
See, I'm just like.
Okay.
It does feel like you're putting more pressure on that side though.
Barely.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
see-
I'm
I see what
doing.
you mean.
On that side,
This side feels like you're going softer.
I'm telling you, I'm not.
Now it feels like you're even.
It's still coming.
Yeah. What I'm getting at here is, immediately as soon as I touch this, it pushes back. Right. Like I'm starting this process, so
Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
that's me trying to move you. I'm having to grab your heel so hard to stop your heel from moving with your first there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Dude,
like,
it's
I don't even have
night
to
and day.
I want
about
to
it,
try.
It's night and day.
Yeah. I think probably what you were feeling was me stopping before I even wanted to push because
Yeah.
I didn't feel like I needed
Yeah,
to. I bet you that was it.
That makes sense though because
Yeah.
you're like,
I'm like, all right, I don't need to do anything here. This is loud.
I don't need to feel it anymore.
Yeah.
I noticed
Yeah.
now after for watching.
And that's a 1. I'm like, oh,
That would be a 1.
done. Yeah. And the key here, yeah, I know.
Met heads, dude.
Well, no. So the key here, you gotta think about this. When we're locking or stabilizing the calcaneus,
Yeah.
nothing is allowed to move other than the thing that we're pushing. So if something else is moving, that's moving a lot.
What is?
That met head. It looks like she's getting a lot of movement out of it compared to what I was getting. Do you feel that too?
Yeah.
So what am I not doing?
Well, I mean,
Go-
let me check it. This is the weird thing that we've been seeing is when
After we work it
stimulate
a little
that
bit.
foot-
Yeah.
I feel like
What's up? Yeah, it's-
Like-
I mean,
This
it's
one
moving
wasn't.
more now.
yeah.
I just need some stimulation.
That feel different?
You need to be doing your toga, sir.
It's definitely feels like it's moving in.
I see that movement now. It's totally get it.
I just feel like I'm not like getting at first I wasn't seeing a lot of movement there.
So I'm thinking about pushing this way,
Okay.
not this way. Right, because look at the angle of this foot.
Yep.
So if I'm pushing this way,
You're not gonna get a lot.
it's creating a shearing, or jamming, actually, not a shearing, it's jamming him in. I want to push this way. This, and I'm kind of here, let me show you where I'm at. There's like a little hook under there.
Mm-hmm.
This still feels like it's not moving great. Trying to figure out how Julie's even making it move.
Yeah, now that you're touching it again, like, it doesn't look like there's any movement. But when she was doing it,
Look at what I'm doing.
she pressing harder?
Yeah, what's the feeling there, man?
She's on your right foot.
But I feel like I'm like this is not. Am I doing this in the right direction?
It feels pretty good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so, and then I'll do it. Those feel similar?
Julie, can you do it again?
Mm-hmm.
That's lots of movement now, either
Yeah.
way.
Then we'll do the other one too. How those feel?
Good. Maybe Julie's pushing more this way.
Still. Okay.
Maybe.
Just push
There.
it to here.
Yeah, that I thought that was you actually.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Nice.
Dude, how is she doing that?
Now I'm like, oh, I see how it's not moving, and you're like, you're still doing it. Okay, I can't do feet. I give it. I quit.
I think she just, yeah.
Tell me, Eli, when I get back on ankle, am I not holding your ankle as much?
I mean, this thing is starting to move.
It is, for sure, for sure. Now I'm seeing it now when he's doing it too. It might have just been this, no, yeah, it's moving, clearly.
It's just my magic.
It is. It's a massage hands.
And so like something like, I mean, if you were trying to make it move, what would you do? Just be miling it like
But
that?
not there.
Up and towards Mike.
Just up.
Just this way,
This way.
this way.
Oh.
Like this. Hook and pull.
Hook, line, and
I
sinker.
kind of like going with the middle finger. No, I don't know what I do.
I can get that how that's not moving now. I think I'm not pushing in the right spot. Here,
It feels like Jazz is more
Let me see this again.
put my finger where it.
proximal to my
Can I
heel.
jump on here real
Yeah.
quick? Okay.
Where's
Jump on
she?
there again.
It feels like Julie's holding like on the mat head, whereas Jazz is kind of below the mat head.
Wait, let me. Do you mind if I move you?
Nope, move me.
Passive.
Nope. So it's the body mechanics thing. You want to be out here instead of getting like real close up in there.
With something like this, you gotta be over the top though.
And it's this, it's pulling up. There you go.
That shit ain't moving.
Oh God! Oh!
Cramp?
Yeah, my chest locked
Uh-oh.
up.
Okay.
We're doing your assessment this week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good idea. I'm going to the bathroom. You guys can keep practicing that. Hitting finally. Man.
We gotta
Julie, do you
go.
want to jump on? I'll try it on you.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, fine, we'll get shoes in there, huh?
Shoes on.
Can you scoot that your
Yeah, I guess so.
body more?
Get your body down.
Okay, So is he using his? You're using your first.
He said he likes his middle finger.
Middle or first?
Middle, yeah, whichever feels comfortable.
This feels really freaking good.
Like a foot massage.
I don't feel like mine's really moving though.
Yeah.
That one's moving better.
Yeah.
That one's definitely moving. I didn't see you do the left foot.
Yeah, it's like
A little bit, but not.
Yeah.
and I also feel like it was like a more of a
Under. Yeah. Let me try it again. I was more thinking.
Yeah, push it.
I feel like it's not moving because it feels like I just want the stimulation.
Right.
Hmm.
I see that. Let me try. Is that good pressure? Not enough, too much? I'm just trying to figure it out.
I feel like your hand on the bottom could kind of come, yeah, like that. Ooh, yeah, that's perfect. Like it's like locked.
So we'll figure out what we think, and then we can have Jazz test it.
Yeah. Less in this. There is a little bit, but less.
It feels more. I feel like it feels like it's moving more, but also my hip is was externally rotated. No.
I see movement. Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. I mean, it's moving a little bit. Maybe you're right. Maybe that left is a little more. What do you think?
You know
So
what,
Jazz
too?
says, I think
Yeah,
I feel like this is not moving as much.
You think so?
Yeah, I
We'll
don't
see.
think it is, and I think that maybe also like the maybe both of you guys weren't having my calcaneus inversion. At least for whenever you guys both put your hands on this one, I feel like it's like a lock and key kind of thing. Like it just like sits in there.
But your left foot not as
Yeah,
much.
it just feels.
I don't know why, but it feels like my left hand feels more comfortable gripping like that. So you're saying this feels better? That feels all right there?
There. A little bit under more. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, let's
That
see
felt
yours. Woo!
That's a good idea.
That feels.
Bro.
No movement. Doesn't feel like it's moving.
I don't feel like either one of them are moving that well.
Didn't feel like it to me at all either. You know, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. It feels like so. Well,
It doesn't feel like it's moving for me.
Yeah, neither one feels like they're doing. Let's see what Jazz thinks of this. But then this would be something where we'd probably just be like, that's maybe just your foot. Like there's no.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what Jazz thinks of this. Good, we've got two little tests to see what Jazz thinks of. Dang, feet are hard.
Dude, it is. It moves so weirdly.
And there's like, it's pretty minimal in general.
Yeah.
It's not like we're in an arm, you're like, oh yeah, that's not.
Your feet aren't moving.
it locked. Everything's locked down. I feel it.
All right, Jazz, we've got these two. We tested both of them, and we want to see what you
Oh,
find.
goody.
So what do you find? Let's start with
This is exciting.
start with Mike.
And where are we going from?
Don't say nothing.
And,
Flexion
The
extension?
head, I haven't even looked at.
We just did extension.
Okay.
We were just gonna see what you thought about it.
Just met head or
Just
phalangeal?
met head.
Just
Just
met head,
met
don't
head.
see
She's
flash.
doing right
Okay.
now. She's doing fully.
I'm gonna go home and like play with feet. I just almost ate shit. I'm not gonna do that again.
Well, they both don't feel great.
that's what we did. That's what we felt.
Yay!
We're like, that's not much movement either.
Not super happy with either.
Yeah.
Then check
That feels worse.
AB and AD after two. She just